Luke, no, John 1 5, John 5 1 through 9. After there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now it said it's Passover. It probably could have been Feast of Weeks, Tabernacles. It doesn't specify, but either way, Jesus goes up to Jerusalem, which it would have been at the temple. This would have happened. Now there was a pool alongside the sheep market at Jerusalem called Bethsaida in Hebrew, having 5 porches. Now this would have been an ideal place. This would have been a place they would have known about. The sheep gates would have been where they brought in their sheep for sacrifice. There would have been flocks of them over there for those that just simply buy sheep rather than bring their own. Kind of a substitute for them hauling their own stuff type thing, which I believe Jesus in fact condemns because they make profit of it. And there would have been many pools around this area, so it identifies which one. At the time this was written, people could have still went and seen where they were talking about. A great number of immaculate folk, incapacitated, blind, lame, withered, lay in these porches waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down into the pool. Now this verse isn't in every translation. On occasion and troubled the water. Whoever then stepped in first after the troubling of the water would be made whole of whatever disease he had. So this angel would bring curing to the water because of him touching it. And a certain man was there who had a certain condition for 38 years. And now, I'm assuming by 38 years it could have been all his life or most of his life, but either way he's in a desperate state to where he wanted to be healed. When Jesus saw him lying and knew that he had already been a long time in that condition, he says to him, "Do you wish to be healthy?" Now this man would have been sitting at this fountain, I believe, for a long time. He could have gave up, went away, realizing, I can't be healed. But this man stuck it out because he wanted to be healed. And the incapacitated man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is troubled, but while I am coming up, another steps down before me." So he's saying, I try, but I can't get there because somebody gets in my way. Someone has to help me. Jesus said to him, "Rise up, take your bed, and walk." So Jesus just speaks it. He doesn't say, okay, I'll help you get into that. He heals them. And now, while as Christians, our job may be, okay, we need to help you. Our first job should be pointing people to Jesus who can instantly heal them. Helping people to Jesus. While many of us are trying to put them in the pool. God had bigger plans for him. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And that day was the Sabbath. Here comes the problem. Jesus healed a man on the Sabbath. Oh, big whoop. Send the world into turmoil because of religious traditions. Sometimes, oftentimes, helping people in the way we need to means we're going to be going against religious traditions. If we go against religious traditions to be used by God to help people, then let us go against these traditions so that we make a difference in Christ, through Christ in people.